And then how we will figure that out? What if I end up in jail? Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the 20s Unraveled podcast. This is your host Anushka, and I'm back with yet another episode and topic to discuss. Before diving into what I want to talk about, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the other episodes that are going to be uploaded. And at the same time, you can listen to all of these episodes in audio format on any of the streaming platforms, that is Spotify, Amazon Music, or Apple Podcasts. So make sure you follow my podcast on there, and if you have the time, then maybe even rate or review or drop any comments about any of the videos that you've seen, any thoughts that you have. So now that is out of the way, let's dive in to what has been going in my mind lately. Let's dive into my thoughts. So recently I've been sort of digging into how some of my thoughts, some of my opinions are not even my own. And I know this can sound a little conflicting or confusing because I am the one that is having these thoughts. I am the one who's thinking of them. And I have these opinions. So if they're not mine, then where are these coming from? I don't think we have as many personal thoughts or beliefs or opinions. I think they are just a product of everything that we consume on a daily basis. And whether it is content, whether it is the thoughts and opinions of the people that we spend time with, the kind of community that we've grown in, that we've had our upbringing in, the kind of family that we were born into. And I think all of those factors kind of play a really huge part in developing our personality, our beliefs, and our opinions. It is weird to think that all of these ideas that we have in our head is just innate and it is our own. I just keep having these weird fears. Oh my God, what if I abandon my friends? What if I just don't talk to them for ages and then we start hating each other? What if I relax too much and I'm enjoying my time too much and I just let go of the thought of my career and I just get too lazy to get back on the wheel? I grow old and I don't have a job. These are all of these thought spirals that I've been having. And I've come to realize that those are just fears. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are true or they will become a reality. Ever since the wave of manifestation trend started coming into the picture, I am seeing all of these pins on Pinterest, self-help content creators preaching the same thing over and over again, how your thoughts are your reality, your thoughts are your future, and the same old thinking pattern of whatever you think will eventually manifest, and that is their way of helping you or kind of guiding you to think in a more positive light, but it backfired in my case. On an average, I think every human being has negative thoughts. It is inevitable because we have so many things and people in our lives that are really precious to us, and of course we don't want anything bad happening to them, or we don't want bad things happening to us. So, and as our brain's job is to keep us alive, its job is not to keep us happy but to keep us alive. And in order to keep us alive, it keeps overthinking of how we might lose our daily essentials, or how we might one day turn into a criminal, and then how we will figure that out. What if I end up in jail? And These are just some of the thoughts that I sometimes have. But yeah, my brain thinks that overthinking and worrying about all of these stuff is keeping me safe, when in reality, in my 3D reality, in the present moment, I am not even 1% closer to being a criminal. So it sounds so ridiculous, I know. And I watched all of these manifestation videos in the prime of my anxiety. And if you have ever experienced anxiety, you know that one of the reasons why we get so anxious is because all of these dang thoughts, all of these negative thinking patterns. And when you listen to someone say your thoughts become your reality, that is not fun. That is not at all fun. Over the years, of course, I have come to terms that, my thoughts aren't my reality. It's just, my brain is just a word machine. It will literally build up any scenario. But I'm not gonna lie, it has not been as easy for me to just let the fears go and be in the present moment. Initially, before I watched those videos, these beliefs were not mine. I did not believe any of those things. But as soon as I heard one person say that, and then it being repeated by another person, and I was seeing it everywhere, I was like, oh my God, what if they're right? There are so many people talking about the same thing, confirming the same ideas. And how am I only the one who doesn't believe in that? The quantity of people agreeing to the same belief kind of makes it hard for me to believe myself, because I'm just one and there are so many people preaching the same idea. This is what is sort of holding us back as a generation from truly being happy, from truly being ourselves. In the manifestation spectrum, there are so many laws, like law of assumption and law of detachment. All of these Western ideas, all of these Western people are really pressuring us into thinking that if we are not independent, that if we are not comfortable with ourselves alone, if we constantly need to be around people, then that is a problem that needs to be fixed. And yes, romanticizing your life alone and going out alone if you don't have company is not something bad, but because the idea is being reinforced on such a larger scale, it sort of confuses us. Because when you do want to spend time with people now, we get this fear of, oh my God, there is something wrong with me because I am craving the company of a certain someone. It means that I'm not capable of being alone. And that is something that I need to fix. That is the kind of beef or problem that I have with the self-development community. And I can say this because I was a person who was really involved in it. It has kind of made me a miserable person, because everywhere I look around on the internet, at least I used to, there was something that was needed to be fixed within you in order to be the most happiest, most confident, most successful person on this planet. Like, all of these people are feeding off of our insecurities and the fact that we are not perfect. Even those people aren't perfect. They are just portraying their perfect version. And that is what I don't like about social media in general. It's just, it paints a picture. It paints a perfect picture that is very difficult to even achieve. I don't think we can ever achieve it. Like, even if my life looks perfect online, I know that I am far from perfect. I'm just a human who is trying every day. And that is more than enough for me. I think it is so precious and beautiful that we are just a work in progress. And we will always be. We will always be a work in progress. As they say, life is not a destination, it's a journey. What I love the most about life is that, yes, I do fall sometimes. Yes, I do fall out of things, out of routine, out of bed. I fall. We are going to fumble things. It is okay. But at the same time, what I love is that we try again. We keep on trying. We keep on trying because it's fun sort of challenging ourselves. And that is what life is all about. It's not about portraying how perfect you are. It's about accepting how imperfect you are and rolling with it. Life is too short to be acting like we have things figured out. Seriously. I have absolutely stopped watching self-development content. Yes, it did look like I was doing something productive and that somehow watching all of those videos was really helping me build my personality, and I was becoming confident day by day and I was reaching my Pinterest life. It is addicting to see how these people just exude that aura that you cannot even hold yourself back from buying into whatever shit that they're selling. And at the same time, I've stopped scrolling on Instagram. You're seeing reels, whatever. They're like 3 to 5 seconds or 10 seconds videos. Even I didn't think that they would leave such an impact on my mind, my beliefs and all of that, because they're like a short duration. I sometimes internalize the things that I see online. If I see a post on Instagram about someone finding out that they have cancer, and it's just, I know that's not how the physiology works. Because I've seen that post, I will be going about my day and out of nowhere, I'll be like, what if I get cancer? What if someone I love gets cancer? What will I do then? Oh my God, the world is ending. This is such a disaster. Like, you know what I mean? And our brains are not really equipped to be consuming and being aware of so many people's lives. Like, that is not what this is designed for. And it's my brain's job to be like going through all of the information that I have sort of come across and just filter things out. Through its filtering process, it gave me the thought about the post that I saw of someone having cancer. It's my reaction that, oh my God, what if this happens? What if this happens? It's my reaction that made that thought permanent. And that fleeting thought was supposed to just be a fleeting thought, but my reaction turned it into a fear. The more that I just neglect my life, the more that I try to reassure myself that, oh my God, that is not going to happen. Brain, stop thinking that, the more it is going to give me the thought that, oh my God, this is urgent. This needs attention. This needs solving. This is important. The more it will keep me giving these thoughts. And that is how you stop overthinking, you guys. Just say, okay, I'll see what to do when I get it. And I know that I'm coming across as really chill about this, but I have spent time crying about that because the thought seems so real. So if you sometimes fear your thoughts or have found yourself crying on your bed, just worrying about what is going to happen, you're not alone. We've all been there. I can assure you that we've all been there. We just need to change our reaction because that is the only thing that is in our control. Our thoughts, even you try to control it, you're going to get yourself a headache. The thoughts won't stop. Just let them be and it will go off wherever it needs to go. It's like a floating cloud in the sky. That's how you sort of see it. Yes, I have seen all of the therapy videos. So consuming all of these things online. Like, you are not supposed to get attached to people. That is a sign of weakness. And you are not supposed to love. That is just, ugh. You are going to glow and you're going to have the best time of your life if you're single forever. We should not buy into everything that we see. I am a person who gets attached to people. I trust people and I get attached. I don't trust easily. For my mom watching this, I don't trust people easily. And nobody can tell me that no person gets attached to a person who they have spent like so many months, years with. Like, come on. You're telling me if your best friend left you for another friend, you wouldn't get hurt? And all of these people that have mastered manifestation are telling me, law of detachment, you should be detached. I don't want to be detached. Okay? You cannot be nonchalant about everything. I'm sorry. I am the kind of person who is sensitive. I love feeling. I love everything. I just feel. I feel a lot. Even more than I think, maybe. But that is what makes my life beautiful. If I don't feel, if I am nonchalant about each and everything, then I'll be a fucking robot. And I don't want to be a robot. I want to be able to appreciate that the sun is out today and it's not raining 24/7. It's just stupid. All of these people are just trying to make you a mess. They're trying to promote loneliness. Those rules are not mine. And for so many years, I have been living by other people's rules to live the perfect life. Guess what? I did not get the perfect life. Instead, it broke me. I was going crazy. I was coming in my own way. I was sabotaging stuff. I should be resilient enough. I should be present enough that nobody else's mindset, nobody else's values or their way of spending a good time clashes with my own. I should be strong enough to not get influenced by other people's ideas. You don't need other people online to be educating you about how you need to grow as a person. Every person grows. It is an inevitable part of life. This is what life is for. This is what our experiences are for. Not every lesson that you see online needs to be learned. It is not for you. It is for them. They are just sharing it. Do not get fused with whatever you see online. It is really important to keep a space between yourself and whatever is being thrown upon you. There needs to be some space, like, yes, someone is telling me something, but instead of directly internalizing it, there should be a space in between where I can be aware enough that, oh, I don't really like this idea, so I'm not going to internalize it, And I think one thing that is going to help us a lot to do that is mindfulness. We are not really as mindful as we'd like to be. We are constantly multitasking. We get bored during a 5-minute break and we want to be entertained even in those 5 minutes. Like, we cannot even spend 5 minutes with ourselves just in silence. How fucked is that? You can just be aware of your surroundings for a while. So when I'm just too into my thoughts, what I do is, there's this method called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, and it's supposed to bring you into the present moment. So it's like, mention the 5 things that you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So it just uses all of your senses that you've been given, and it really just anchors you to the present moment. And even our breath, it is so underrated. I know it is involuntary, but it is so underrated. Can you just sit there for a while and just focus on the way that you breathe? You don't have to change anything. Just be curious about how you breathe. For how long you inhale, for how long you exhale. And once we have I think calmed ourselves down enough, I feel like every experience is going to be so cherishable and so beautiful because you were not distracted by anything. You were just enjoying. We as a generation, we are so self-aware. Let's be aware of the world around us. Let's leave our minds for a while and come into our bodies. How cool will that be? If you care too much about following a trend and living your life the way other people think you're supposed to, then is it even your life? I think that is something to think about. Yeah, that was it from my side, you guys. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me and it made you realize some of the things that maybe you would have been subconsciously doing. But anyways, even if there were no thoughts and you were just being present and listening to me speak about whatever thoughts I had, then you are so precious. You're so precious to me. I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you next time. Keep unraveling, you guys. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, remember to be present. Enjoy every moment. If you get distracted, use your breath, use your senses. Just exhale and melt all of the stress away. Bye. Love you.